Well, if everybody that's joining the stream, we had some technical difficulties to get started, but boy, did you just see a good play there for the Chargers. And Chris, did you see where Coleman? Did you see where the ball is going to be marked? Well, trying to get down as far as to the sidelines, but it looks like the ball is going to be spotted about the 2-yard line. But if you're joining us, it's 7:48 to go left here in the first quarter. Chargers are in the lead, 7-0. Had took the opening drive down the field and scored, and just then signal for a touchdown. It's going to be a run right up the middle for the touchdown, and let's see who that is. Jeremiah Miller on the touchdown with the 2-yard scamper. But Charger defense created a turnover right before that long run, so it was a 2-play drive, I think.
It was. Chris started at the 49-yard line on just I thought he reached around the defender and took it as interception. I heard across the announcer said it could have been ruled or was ruled a fumble, but either way, it was a wild turnover. And the very next play, King running 47 yards downfield. I mean, that really put us where we wanted to be just then. Quick score, very quick.
The point after attempt was wide and missed that. So the only thing that hadn't went right for the Chargers here in the early part of this ball game, and what a ball game as far as we have. District 4 matchup tonight. Chargers come in here ready to play early on, up 13-0, so you got to like that, Jeremy.
I do. It's 7:44 left in the first. We've got two just absolutely quick scores, in my opinion. They're already feeling like I'm sure if you're East Webster, you're feeling like your back's against the wall. You're on the road and you're playing number 1 in the state, Choctaw County.
Yeah, this is a series that's been fairly even. The Chargers lead the series. Only been 9 matchups in the last 13 years, so Chargers have this series lead 5-4, looking to add to it tonight. But a lot riding as far as this first week of playoff football, playoff contingency type district matchups that leads to the playoffs right here. So it's an important matchup here in District 4.
Absolutely. Kicks off, is a decently deep kick. Looks like East Webster set up a pretty good wedge, though, and defended it well, and they've got the ball in pretty good position right around the 41, 42-yard line.
I don't know. We were trying to get things rebooted so everybody could join see this stream as far as we were stream only, and having those technical difficulties. But it was the first play that the defense, or how far into the Wolverines drive was that turnover?
Check. How about that?
Oh, yeah, we got you, man.
Hey, I'm back.
Well, glad to have this Chris Coleman giving us the sideline updates tonight, but glad you could join us, Chris.
Good to be here. How about giving me a yardage on that run just a few minutes ago? Can you get a second?
Touchdown?
Yes.
2 yards.
No, the run before that.
47.
47. Okay, thank you.
End up getting a different feed tonight if you're watching the stream. So it should look pretty good as far as on your home TV and on your phone, but end up getting the instant replays as well, as this play ran off the right side by the Wolverines. Going to pick up about 3 or 4 yards. It's going to be 3rd and 5 or 6 right here. So
it's a big play early. I know East Western would love to get that first down and get across midfield, and our guys would love to stop them. So here we go. It's a big play. The band seems to be getting into it tonight too, Chris. It seems like a lot of electricity in the air.
It's no doubt that we know what's on the line as far as tonight with this game here. right there streaking down the center of the field was number 3, Campbell Flora, and just overshot there by number 17, Corey Stidham, the quarterback for East Webster, but he wishes he had that one back.
That's a well-designed play. Looks like we did bite, on the handoff, which was a good fake. He did.
Good third down play there.
That's going to force the punt here for the Wolverines. And end over end punt. It's going to bounce about the 20-yard line, end over end. It's going to be right there, about the 16-yard line. So Chargers will have a little bit of some green grass or turf in front of them here. But you can't. I know both of y'all can't be very disappointed with this early start here from the Chargers.
No, it's definitely easier to win, Chris, when you're ahead. So we'll take those 2 early touchdowns.
Move the chains right there.
He did, Chris. I'm trying to figure out how many exactly he got. I'm having a little fun tonight. I'm trying to do stats and kind of fill in for Glenn. There's no replacement for Glenn.
Oh, man, how can you do that for the voice of the Chargers and stuff?
Absolutely. So I'm trying to count. I'm trying to talk at all the same time, write down the stats because I don't know who's going to ask me for them later.
Yeah.
And so, I'm here tonight, though.
Jeremiah Miller tries to go off the left side. He's spun around and ended up going to be tackled in the backfield for a loss.
Yeah, he's had some good runs tonight already. His first 2 runs of the game, Chris, 16 yards. Then he had a 25-yarder. Then they got him. They started holding him in check just a little bit, but he still has grabbed a TD since then. Short run, a plunge in. He's dedicated. He's a hard runner. He's definitely north and south guy.
Yeah, you can see as far as on the season, Jeremiah Miller's been averaging 160 yards per game, and a lot of grass there in front of KJ Cork, and scampers out the left side and up the sidelines is going to pick up the first down. But you could see once he flushed out of the pocket here on the instant replay, there was nobody on that side, and he just got the block.
Yeah, he asked for that block, guys. You saw that. He had his eyes turned to the home side and made everybody move that way, and he just ran the other way.
Picked up a nice 17 yards, too. Picked up some good real estate.
Yeah, and that's what you like to see from your veteran quarterback in KJ.
Absolutely.
Jeremiah Miller tries to go off this right side, but tackle's going to be made by number 6. That's going to be Elijah O'Brien, linebacker, 6 foot, 185 pounds there for the Wolverines to make a tackle for a loss.
Yeah, he came up good on that play. Did good for him. It's hard to bring Miller down like that, and so it's a good play.
Yeah, you don't see many solo tackles when he gets wrapped up.
No, you do not.
So, Chris, what's the crowd like? Everything looks like a good, well-attended game.
Yeah, both stands are full on East Webster side and, of course, the Chargers side. They've been coming in since about 5:30 this afternoon, and I tell you what, a lot of noise from both sides. But home crowd had a lot to cheer about there in the first few minutes of the ball game for sure.
Yeah, they did. It was exciting first little bit, and I apologize for everybody not being able to see it on the stream as we had to get things rebooted. But right there, the Wolverines brought pressure and ended up brought more than we had linemen and backs to pick up, and trying to get rid of it real quickly. Court unloads it, but it's a wonder it wasn't intercepted by Jordan O'Brien, number 0. And Cork is going to be hit as he's trying to get load up to throw, and this ball came out, and you saw the bag come out, and I think that's going to be ruled a fumble, Chris.
Yeah, it'll be a fumble on the Chargers. Heavy pressure from East Webster there, and he come untouched and just took KJ to the ground there, and he was fumbling as he was falling.
Yeah, it was a good, once it came across the line of scrimmage, was really able to turn that real quickly and get to the quarterback, and end up made a good hit on Cork, and that's going to be a turnover, but was really blessed the time before as far as wasn't intercepted. So 2 negative plays there back-to-back. So the Charger defense is going to be on their side of the field at the 36-yard line trying to defend, keep the Wolverines out of the end zone here. So it was a direct snap back to number 13, Zamarian Jones, 5'8", 150-pound running back. Was at the quarterback position right there, trying to get him some touches as he had some speed. But it was just a short pickup of only 1 yard there by the Wolverines.
It was that, the play before on the turnover, Chris, I'd like to talk about it. We're giving East Webster now they forced the play, but now here we are. We're giving them the ball at basically 35-yard line, short fields. These are situations we didn't want to happen tonight.
Yeah, turnovers was one thing you knew going into this game could be a close one. That turnover battle was something you wanted to win.
Absolutely, and they're going to try. They're not going to quit. I don't think they'd quit being East Webster and us being Choctaw County. I don't believe they'd quit if it was 35-0 our way. I think they're going to go hard all night at us.
Yeah, no doubt. There is, we talk about some of the teams that the Chargers play during the football season. This is one that crosses over no matter what sport you're talking about, from flag football probably to t-ball to you name it. Later on, these kids know each other on both sides of the field.
I can agree to that. We know a lot of those guys over there.
Chargers lost contained right there on the miss played snap, and that was, like you said, number 17. That's going to be Cooper Stidham, the quarterback, and Chargers had an opportunity right there for a big loss, but Stidham was able to get it back to the original line of scrimmage as he stretched out right there at the very end. But it's going to be 4th down, and this is one of those no man land right here. It's too far for a field goal. You don't want to punt, so the Wolverines are out here trying to convert this 4th down attempt.
It looks like they lack about 7.
So just on this important play, it looks like the Wolverines are going to call a timeout so they can talk this one over. So we'll be back in just a second with this 4th down play. It's 1:49 left to go here in the first quarter. Chargers in the lead 13-0. So end up big time game. So we'll be back in just about 30 seconds. All right. Wolverines are back on the field here for the 4th and 7. Stidham throws it up. Host of Chargers. It was, I don't know, I would say 5 deep in coverage,
Yeah,
surrounded as far as.
Yeah, everybody was trying to jump for the ball, but it's one of those you definitely want to knock down and have better field position instead of trying to return it there.
Yeah, you're exactly right. There was one Wolverine receiver there, and it had to be 5 Chargers in coverage right there. Looked like number 9, Quavion Lowry, got his hands on it right there, but unable to secure it. But it was one of those things, bat the thing down as far as and pick up that yardage. But it's very tempting to go ahead and intercept that. So here the Charger offense is back on the field. They take over at the 33-yard line. 1:42 left here in the first quarter. Miller with a good burst of speed, just split to everybody right up the middle and picks up and moves the chains as far as on that 12-yard scamper.
Yeah, that was a good run for him. He really ran hard. It looked like he got touched by about four different defensemen.
Chargers wasted no time getting up to the line of scrimmage. Miller was able to dodge a couple waves of the Wolverines and bounce it to the left, but did pick up a couple.
Yeah, Chris, just to throw numbers at you, when you hear about running back stats or whatnot, not necessarily his yards this first quarter, but that is his 11th time to touch the ball as a running back in the first quarter.
Well, first quarter's when Chargers moving along very quickly, and then as number 12 gets touch, comes right there, and it's going to lose about a yard.
Okay, but
yep, Chargers showed some motion, some different things right there, trying to loosen things up in the middle, but that one was well defended.
Well, it's a crucial time. The first quarter seems to went by fairly quick, and I know we're running the ball a lot, but here we are. You're using Miller. You're at a crucial 3rd and long, 3rd and 8. Getting the first down would also get us across midfield, Chris.
Cork rolls to his right, tries to throw it to Cunningham in the flat, and number 7 for that's going to be Damian Crowley.
Yeah, he just stepped right in there, and if it wasn't for KJ himself knocking him out of bounds over here, he would have went back and took that for 6. But KJ helped himself after throwing the interception, knocked him out of bounds.
Tough turn. We talked about the turnovers. That's the second turnover there for the Chargers here in the first quarter. But Cork rolling to his right, short side of the field, and Crowley did a good job as far as stepping in front of that pass as it was intended, trying to get it to Cunningham.
Yeah, he did. Giving them the short field again, though, Chris, on the turnover. We're going to have to eliminate that. We can't keep giving a well-coached team the ball on our side of the field,
and not pitch a shutout for sure.
That's right. It's like a little confusion on that snap.
Yeah,
there.
Chris, you have an idea what happened?
Sorry, guys. Going to be delay a game on East Webster there. Just ran out of time before they snapped the ball.
Well, end up a little celebration there as far as probably getting the turnover and getting that play in and their offense out there, but going to back them up and push them back a little bit in Charger territory to the 41.
Those turnovers, we might get one this very next play. You don't know. They've had a couple on us, so the ball does bounce both ways.
Yep. So the play clock down to 14 right now, and some stuff. Oh, a tackle almost in the backfield, and going to reverse his field is number 2. Chargers are holding on, and it's going to be, that was number 10 that was for the Chargers that was holding on. That was going to be Zaylen Patton, junior linebacker. So it'll be a gain of 3 on the play, but still the Wolverines are going to be behind the chains, and that's going to do it for the first quarter. It's 13-0, so we'll be back in just a few minutes to start the second quarter. All right, welcome back. The start of the second quarter. And Stidham there tries to go back out in the flat as he had pressure right up the middle. And who is that going to be on the – I can't see right now. Is that was going to be –
It could be Lane. I'm just waiting to see his number. No.
This is going to be number
That's
10.
That's going to be Zalem.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
Pat.
Had pressure right there and sort of busted that play up and caused Stidham to short arm it out to the sideline. So bring up a big third down here, 3rd and 12 here for the Wolverines in Charger territory. Charger offense hadn't helped the defense out too much as far as with these short fields. Stidham looking down the field. Tight coverage right there was going to be number 21 for the Chargers in coverage, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. But that was going to be Chavez Sellers in coverage and sort of met right there when the ball was there, was in his back pocket to make the tackle, and then a host of Chargers joined. But another 4th down play here, as it's going to be in similar territory on the field as it was the last possession. So it's going to be 4th and 6.
Yeah, 4th and 6, and thanks to Sellers, there was no yards after catch on that one. You know, keeping it a 4th down, you know, coming up. But like you said, they're in the area where this is 4-down territory. High school, there's probably only a handful of kickers that can make that one. So they're definitely going. I would think we'll go for it here.
So Stidham in the backfield with Bingham to his left. Fakes the handoff to Bingham, looking down the field, steps up in the pocket and throws it right across the middle of the field, hits Crowley as he's going down to his knees and bounces off his chest. And not going. It was going to be enough yardage, looked like if it was secured for the 1st down, and that's going to be a turnover on downs, and the Chargers are going to start their possession at the 32-yard line.
And for anyone listening, just then, or not able to see the game, you know, it was a really good pass. He had a lot of arm behind it. I think he hit him in the numbers. He just threw it really hard. He had a small window of opportunity to get it to him.
So the Chargers take the field here in a bunch formation. And Miller just goes off the left side, and it's going to be tackled. A little face mask, I think, action. So Chris is down closer to it.
Yeah, I'm on the other end. I was watching him. I'm behind him, but it did look like a face mask from the way he was brought down. So we'll wait on that official call, but I think you're right on that.
Yeah, those, of course, watching the stream right there, it looked like about the 45-yard line, right or 48 fist across midfield, a little bit of a pull on the face mask, and that is the signal. So some Chargers going to get some penalty yards. It's tacked on to the big run by Miller.
And he had 20 yards on the carry, and you had a personal foul yardage, 15. That's a big chunk of the field gone.
Yep. So just like that, the Chargers have moved across midfield or in Wolverine territory, and the ball's going to be spotted at the 32. It's 10:46 left to go here before half. The Chargers are in the lead, 13-0. Same formation. This time we're going to hand it off to Cunningham, and whistles come out early. So Chris will have to help us with this.
Looks like a false start, Chris.
Okay.
Coleman may not have heard us with all the commotion, all the crowd tonight, but they stopped that before we even got started.
Yep, so ended up pre-snap penalty there. You know, this part of the season, you hope not to see that a whole lot surfacing itself, but was trying to get Cunningham a touch. Back same formation and go back to the exact same play, and Cunningham end up breaks through the line of scrimmage and picks up a couple, but end up slowed down a little bit before contact.
Yeah, he has the speed to get around the end, but we're on the short side of the field here. We had just nowhere to go for it to develop for that play.
Yep.
But 10:25 left in the second. It feels good to get a couple of those scores early, and then we didn't get anything their last drive. So maybe we can pick up some points and put on the board on this drive here.
Court looks down the field and throws on the back shoulder of Cunningham going on a crossing, crossing the middle of the field, and end up had a defender right beside him, but end up just the ball being back behind him, just couldn't get his hands and body turned around to secure it.
Yeah, it looked like his right arm may have got held back a little too. I don't think it was enough to pull a flag, but it looks like he was turned a little bit. You compound that with the ball just slightly behind him, and you got it incomplete. And KJ, he came out, started out tonight. He 4 for 4, I believe he was, and he hadn't had a completion in the last few attempts, but maybe he'll get back on track and just right here.
Cork was able to dodge the pressure as there was a Wolverine that came unblocked and was able to dodge that and tries to get it out to Cunningham, and Cunningham just couldn't secure it right there. And it's going to be a 4th down for the Chargers.
Almost identical yard line too as East Webster has faced a couple times around the 30, 35. We're at 35 now. It looks like we are bringing on a punt team. We definitely platooned, didn't we?
Yep. So Jackson Hood on to punt for the Chargers. Ball spotted at the 35, 10-14. Spiraling punt that's going to hit about the 12-yard line, takes a Charger bounce, and it looks like going to be a touchback as far as the Chargers were not able to secure it, as once it hit, it sort of took off, Jeremy, going into that Charger end zone.
Yeah, it never checked up after it hit the ground, did it? I guess that's what you want on most punts, but on that one we did need it to check up a little bit.
Yeah.
It hit and went straight towards the end zone.
Didn't look like that pitching wedge I see you hit every once in a while.
I need to get back out there and do that again. That's good stuff.
Well, the Wolverines are going to take over at the 20-yard line. Stidham in the pocket is going to hit number 8. That's going to be Prentice Cork across the middle. And, looks balls end up in the hands of the Chargers, but that's going to move the chains.
Okay.
That was Elmore Gladney on the tackle there for the Chargers.
Chris, one thing that was important about that last drive that Choctaw County just had, we had 4 plays. One was punt, but 19-second drive. That was it. We did not take any time off the clock with all the incompletes.
Well, I saw it just went from 10:20 something, 10:28 or however 10:14. It wasn't very much time at all.
Yeah.
So Stidham calls for a man in motion. That's Crowley, fakes the handoff there and tries to go off the left side, and he's spun around right at the original line to gain and end up nowhere to go there on that left side.
No, that was a good solo tackle there. I was trying to see who got up from that. Did you have eyes on him?
Chris Mike could help us.
I didn't. I was blocked from this side on who it was.
Crowley was able to connect Stidham was able to connect in the flat out there to Prentice Cork, number 8. That was his target earlier on, but it's going to bring up a short yard and distance, I guess 3rd and 3 or 3rd and a long 2 as far as here for the first down for the Wolverines. Chargers had some pressure. That was number 14 that was able to give Arion Rogers get some pressure there on Stidham.
Crucial 3rd down.
And that's going to be enough. It looks like a good tackle, there by the Chargers. He was met by number 11, Elmore Gladney. But right after about a half yard past the first down marker, and that's going to move the chains for the Wolverines. And one thing you notice, you talked about the limited amount of time rolling off the clock, but already about 2 minutes here on the time of possession on this series here for the Wolverines.
Yes. Yeah, that was a well-designed play that got them to the first down. Then they brought a man in motion, faked the handoff, and that drew a linebacker over, which opened up the middle for the quarterback sneak.
So pressure right there on Stidham, as it was number 10, going to be Zaylen Patton right there in his face, and just really nobody on that side as far as really just trying to get rid of the ball, but it's going to bring up second down and 10.
Chargers defense needs to stand tall if we can right here. Like we talked about earlier, East Webster's not going to give up.
Oh, yeah, no doubt, Jeremy. District game here, and there's a lot of pride on both sides of this field, and it's going to be a dogfight, I guess, to the very end. Stidham throws it out in that far sideline in the flat, right past first down marker by a couple yards, but that was going to be to number 12, McMurray, Lamerick.
Yeah, he ran a hard route, and he was able to stomp and turn right back around and kind of created a little distance between him and the cornerback. And that got him open for the play.
Yeah, good timing as far as the ball was delivered out there on the break, and was able to get both, get his feet down as far as before he went out of bounds. But moved the chains again. Wolverines, 8:05 counting here in the first half. Gets the ball out to Crowley, number 7, Dagan Crowley. Chargers wrap that up pretty quickly, and very little yards after catch at all, as it's going to be at the original line of scrimmage, so no gain there on that play.
Yeah, I thought he was definitely flirting with disaster throwing it out there. I was thinking the ball was going possibly behind the line of scrimmage, but it was just right in front of it.
Cooper Stidham goes out to the wide receiver position, and number 14, Cross Avant, comes in at quarterback. And he's able to thread the needle in between Gladney, and I couldn't see who else it was, but ended up somehow was able to get that between the two Chargers, and it was going to be caught by number 8, Prentice Cork, and another completion there for the Chargers. And it sort of was, Avant came in as far as and was able to make the completion right there, and didn't know if it was going to be some trickery, a double pass or something as far as, and didn't look like a running quarterback as far as per se, but was able to thread that one in there in a dangerous pass over the middle.
Yeah, I was actually thinking trickery myself. I kept looking. I was trying to, study the formation, but it was just a regular passing play.
So Stidham back at quarterback here and hands the ball off to number 2, and nothing going in the middle, bounces around the left side as that's Bingham on the carry.
It's like he picked up about 3-4 yards, trying to waiting on the spot.
And we're having so much things going on as far as trying to get the equipment and everything working to start the game. October, you eliminate the heat timeouts. Are we done with that? Did it happen in the first? Are we past that now?
I don't. Have we had one tonight?
I don't know. That's what we were having so many problems.
Yeah.
Chris was there.
We're in October now. We don't have to have them.
Okay, awesome. Speed doesn't slow the game down either. As for here at 6:07 here before half, there's nobody there as Stidham throws it out of bounds, as there was pressure right there in his face, and we've called this young man's name out several times, but Zaylen Patton right there with the pressure, and end up but did you see somebody was throwing it too?
There was no one in the area. Hey, back to the heat timeouts. Safety is the foremost thing we want to do here, but, you never want to have a young man out here ever not have his break and be able to be, staying hydrated like that. Safety's the most important, but it seems like a lot of times that heat timeout comes when you got a lot of momentum on your side.
So it does, don't it? So pressure up the middle. Oh, and as Stidham tries to hit number 12, McMurray, for a first down across the middle, and end up there was quite the collision right here on the stream but number 5 for the Chargers going to be Javion Lowry goes up the safety trying to make the catch and just had some incidental contact, but it was pretty good contact because both players were going full speed and trying to catch that ball.
Right, and they both stopped immediately.
So end up
So that's going to bring up a fourth and really long, about 8 or 9 yards.
Yeah, about 8 yards. So possession down here for the Wolverines, and their last 3 drives have been in Charger territory. Some, I guess, because of turnovers and short fields, but this one here had been able to put together a string of first downs as far as to get to this point, but it right now is sort of stalled at the 26-yard line. So big down and here for the Chargers and Wolverines.
And we'll take any kind of stop here you can get, Chris. We're wanting to shut them out if we can. We definitely don't want them to score. That would be back to a one-possession game. But any kind of stop here, whether we create it or they just throw a bad pass or incomplete, we'll take anything we can get on this crucial fourth down.
So Stidham back at quarterback here. He's standing at the 31-yard line. Trips receiver back to his right. Single wide receiver to his left. Takes a snap. Pressure up the middle. He's flushed, and he just throws it straight ahead. And I don't think it was going to be enough for the first down, or it was right at it. But it was intended for number 10, Zadorius Coleman Jr., but ended up unable to secure it. And it was going to be right at the first down, a little bit past it. But an incomplete pass, and you said it didn't take much. But incomplete pass or whatever, Chargers would be the benefactors of that, and that's what's going to be the case. And first down for the Chargers, 5:53 here before half, 13-0. So Chargers looking to see if they can add to that lead here.
Chris, we put a lot of pressure on the quarterback on that play. It was incomplete, but it could have been incomplete due to all the pressure that we were after him. It was a good play.
You end up you knew as far as wanted to get some pressure and make something happen, and that's what the Chargers did. Been the routine as far as the plan for tonight was get Jeremiah Miller some touches, and as he's got another one there. You already mentioned earlier, and he's had several since then, but that's 14 or 15 touches easily here in the.
I haven't tallied his yards up, but that was his 14th carry of the night.
So we're gonna need an ice bath later. So. Cork slings this one out into the flat. Cunningham's streaking down the field. Thought he was going to break that off as far as shorter and go out to the sideline. So not on the same page was Cork and Cunningham on that last pass attempt, which is going to bring up 3rd and long here for the Chargers. And just like the previous possession, not a lot of time. Your defense did give up some yards that last time, but did the bend but don't break. But this time, as far as the Charger defense, have quickly got to offense is quickly on 3rd down. Court takes the snap, looks to his right, throws it, and that's Sellers, and he's across the 50, 40, and down to the 30-yard line, but end up had single coverage out there. I'm sorry, Chancellor Mosley, and end up going to be a big-time completion there for the Chargers. But Mosley had the.
That's what you needed right there, guys. KJ's been a little inconsistent after he threw that interception early, and that'll help him out a lot right there.
Yeah, needed a booster right there, and a 36-yard completion out into the flat. It's going to be, will be one that does it. But Mosley was out there and ended up made one guy miss, and he was up the sidelines. Court's going to the end zone, and it's going to be Cunningham. He secures it with those big hands and stretches it out. What a catch right there by Cunningham, and a throw by Cork for the touchdown for the Chargers. Here's the instant replay. Goes up 2 defenders, 1 on the inside and 1 trailing behind. You got to like that.
That was nice. I mean, that was a good throw, a lot of touch on it. But at the end, did you see all the juggling he had to do because of the 2 defensive backs that were on him?
Right there, yeah.
You know,
and he just stuck it out. He was going to break the plane of the goal line.
well, that was time-wise a very short drive, but it was 75 yards of offense. We didn't burn a lot of time, but when you can put up 7 more points, we'll take it.
Oh, no doubt. So end up points more than minutes of the time of possession right there. But the Chargers were able to complete the point after attempt to stretch this out to a 20-0 lead here with 4:39 before half.
Yeah, that was nice. Chris, what's it feel like? What's the atmosphere on the sideline?
I tell you what, guys, it really got pumped up when Chanson made that long reception and run there, yards after catch, just a few minutes ago. Set up that great touchdown reception by Caleb, and you can just feel the energy flowing back in here. There was a little lull there for just a little bit, but it's picked back up over here on this Charger sideline.
Here on the commentator did that it was a 36-yard catch, but somebody may have looked at the wrong yard line. It was a 41. They missed it by 5. It was a 41. That play started at the 29 and ended at the 30. And so I want to make sure he's credited with all 41 of his yards. That was a great play for us.
End over end kick fielded about the 30-yard line and going to be quickly tackled there by number 6 for the Chargers, Savion Miller.
We've had a host of Chargers all over the field tonight. A lot of tackles by several different men.
Yep, really swarming the ball as far as playing hard. You knew as far as coming out, but you like to see that last touchdown right there in the going down the field to score. You got a lot of emotions to start a game like this. Once everything settles down and starts feeling each other, feeling each team out right there, the Chargers. So you'd like to see that grab points here right before the halftime.
Absolutely. Maybe we can stand tall. I would be thinking we could see a trick play before the end of the half for them to get on the board.
Stidham hands that one off, going straight ahead to number 2. That's going to be Deorian Bingham. Looks like a Wolverine might be slow to get up.
Yeah, I was thinking East Webster would come in here undefeated. I've talked about it tonight. I know they won't quit. They're going to play us hard. Just the history between the two schools, but they haven't shown any signs of that yet. That last drive just turned out, just kind of petered out at the end, but they did take it down the field.
Yeah, rivalry game like this and a district on top of it as Stidham goes out into the flat and hits Crowley to pick up some positive yards, and Crowley comes up limping as well.
Right.
Now he goes toward the sideline, but he didn't go off, but now he is going to go off to the sideline to get attended to. And that's going to bring in number 21,
who's
Coffee.
One for one on his attempts tonight, right?
I think so. All right, cross Avant tries to complete a pass there to Avion Moy and just overshoots that one by, a pretty good bit, just not even close, didn't give his wide receiver a chance. And that's going to bring out quickly the punt team for the Wolverines. So back deep for the Chargers is going to be number 24, Jeremiah Miller. So end up trying to get him another touch here as well.
Yeah, we just have to be careful on a hard count here, Chris. We don't want to give them any way to extend this drive.
A snap over the punter's head. It's going to be scooped, and the Chargers are able to secure it. It's going to be number 8 for the Chargers, Quasi Lane, as far as on the touchdown, but just snapped over the top of the punter's head, and he slips down as he goes to try to pick it up, kick it out the back of the end zone, and Lane it just beats everybody to the ball. Didn't secure it at first when he fell on it, but luckily got it before it went out the back of the end zone.
Yeah, I wasn't sure after that time it first bounced if he was going to be able to reclaim it, but he did.
Yeah, so before it went out the back, because that was going to be a missed opportunity if it did roll out the back of the end zone and be a touchback there. So 19, Matthew Coleman is going to be out to attempt a point after attempt. But, wow, special teams blunder right there by the Wolverines, and the Chargers capitalize on the special team points is huge.
Yeah, that was really nice to pick up those, especially right before half. Not sure we're going to see here.
Oh, end up 2-point conversion.
I don't
as
think
Jack Hood was able to connect to Chanson Mosley as it gives him a 2-point conversion after his big reception earlier. But a little trickeration.
Yeah, that was really nice. I'd like to see the replay on that one. It was hiked right there to the holder. Oh, what a great! That was just designed perfectly right there.
Yeah, just went up the little bit of the seam, just found a dead spot right there in the defense, and end up just a good pass there by Jackson Hood to get that 2-point conversion and make it back out like we hadn't missed one as far as tonight.
Rounded out the scoreboard again.
Yeah, 28 to nothing here with 3:15 before halftime. So I'm going to tell you, that takes a little bit of air out of the Wolverines here. When you end up to give up the special teams as far as punting, you already got stopped. A couple of players were slow to get up as far as that. The Chargers are starting to lean as far as on the Wolverines here in the first half.
Yeah, I'm not sure how we'll see both teams this last 3 minutes because really and truly, besides that short little play, the same guys have been on the field. Their offense, our deep, so these guys have really been out there on the field for several minutes. So they may be getting tired here right before half.
Coleman puts his foot into it. End over end kick. It's going to be fielded about the 17-yard line. Wolverines run straight up the hash line, and end up is going to be tackled there by a host of Chargers. And that was number 7 on the return, Crowley.
Right at the 3-minute mark left, Chris. If you're, right now, if you're East Webster, I know you want to get on the board. How much do you want to do? Do you want to risk throwing the pass and give us another opportunity after seeing how fast we are able to score?
Well, this is, I think, just with it gets to a point before too long you can't. I know it's still before half, but I think you can't go stagnant a little bit. I think you still probably have to take your shots as far as when you can. But they haven't hesitated from throwing the ball yet all night.
They have not. They've done a good job. The quarterbacks have both been on target, but we've been right there with our defensive backs making the on-time hits, and that's a connection for them.
Yeah, that's going to be number 2. Bingham on the long run for the touchdown. Just goes off the left side.
Bingham on a 64-yard touchdown run for the Wolverines.
Yeah, he had good protection up the middle there, guys. He just saw a gap and ran right up it, and Chargers could not catch him.
Yeah, just like that. The shutout is ended, and the Wolverines get a quick hitter, just a few seconds off the clock, one play, and touchdown there for the Wolverines. Just once he got to that second level, might have been a little bit of some arm tackle, that he was able to break right there for the big score there for the Wolverines. Here's the point after attempt. Snap is back, and the hold's down. The kick is good, so 28-7 here, 2:55. So I guess they're still going to take some shots, Jeremy.
Yeah,
but that's an easy one as far as handed off, as far as not very much risk. As far as on that last one, that's a play the Chargers would like to have again.
Yeah, I'm sure they'd like to review that and see whoever the man was that was missing. 'Cause somebody was out of, not where they should have been on that play.
All right, here's a flag was down, Chris. Did you see it?
Yeah, it's going to be on the Chargers guys running there and running into the kicker. I'm sure it'll be assessed, on the kickoff here.
So with it being at a, running the kick into the kicker here, and the ball's going to be across midfield. Is this a time where you try to steal a possession here? So we'll be kicking off in Charger territory at the 45.
Interesting. 2:55 to go. We're going to see what.
Or is this something you try to kick and pin the Chargers back? You know, not kick it into the end zone, but try to,
I don't know. What do you do?
You got to watch the onside kick right here.
I sort of think you go for the onside kick if it's me, but kick it off deep.
And he chose the safe route as to just not give us an opportunity to run one back.
Yeah, it's going to be a touchback. So we're going to be calling on the defense here for the Wolverines and wanted them to play field position.
Yeah, I'd like to get us one. I know everybody would get another touchdown here before half. Let's get back, extend that lead.
Yeah, and we got all 3 timeouts too, guys. You know, we can use them right here and spread it out. We got time to score.
That's exactly right, Coleman.
Gets it to Cunningham. Court does, and he's beats one defender, and he is upended about the 45, across the 40, up in the air, but was able to get past a couple defenders. Just turned on some speed up the sidelines, and here's the replay. Just breaks it out to the left, outruns one guy, and then clipped at the ankles. Another confidence builder there for Cork.
Yeah, Caleb Cunningham, he has some speed. That guy he had a good tackle on him, but he was the last one. If he doesn't get a piece of him, that's 80 yards.
That's it, yeah. Just like that. So penalty flag comes out. And that's going to back the Chargers up pre-snap. Penalty, a false start. It's going to be 1st and 15. Court runs the option back to the right side, turns up the field and picks up, being behind the chains, picks up that penalty yards plus some. It's going to bring up 2nd, about 7.
It was an 8-yard game, though.
Court going back in there toward Cunningham. Cunningham he gets his right arm sort of held and ended up stretches his left arm out and gets a hand on it, but unable to bring it in one-handed.
It was a great effort he did. He got all the way out on that one. He was parallel with the ground, wasn't
he? Yes, he stretched out as far as for some effort to try to pull that one in. In coverage was going to be number 0 for the Wolverines. That was Jordan O'Brien. So 3rd and 7. Court rolls a little bit to his right and is looking to his left, and he hits Mosley coming across the field, and that's going to be enough for the first down and plenty of yardage right there. So another big pickup and catch there by Chance and Mosley. So just drug across the field, just a shallow crossing route. Jeremiah Miller to the right of Court. Court takes the snap. He's trying to go back to Cunningham, double move. Cunningham is able to secure it with 2 defenders around him, and he just pulls it in with those strong hands and end up nice pitch and catch. So we're getting to see the instant replay here. Just get it to him in the vicinity and he was able to bring it in. So that's going to bring 1st and goal from the 3-yard line. Chargers not in a hurry right there with the 126 and counting.
I think that was a 31-yard catch, too.
So Court just goes straight ahead on the quarterback sneak from the 3-yard line. And Chris, can you see how close he got down?
Guys, they've got him marked right around the one.
One on the play makes it second and
Was
goal
able
for
to
the
gain
Chargers
2
from the 2.
yards right there, and it was, yard and distance wise, you weren't necessarily thinking quarterback sneak it from that part, but end up didn't risk the handoff. Play clock's at 19, game clock's at 47. So Court gets back up under the center, hands it off to number 21, going out to the right. That's Chavez Sellers, and that is going to be stopped as far as the signal that he was tackled short.
Yeah, he's still going to be a hair short. They're going to be 3rd and goal.
And Coach Mitchell gets a little sprint in as far as to get the timeout called as 21 seconds, and couldn't get the side judge as far as right there to look at him as he took off, and got to see a little bit of some speed as he was running up the sidelines there.
Sign him up. All right. Yeah, on that previous run where they stopped Sellers, he stuck that ball out. It looked like to me, but his knee may have went down. From the angle we're at, we can't see it, but he really gave the effort.
Well,
I actually thought he was in, Jimmy. He leaned forward, like you said, and had it stuck out, so I thought he had crossed.
That's what it looked like. I'm just glad you let us know, Coleman, because that's what it looked like up here.
if we could have buzzed and it went back to the MSHAA office and they could reviewed it, or however, we would have sent it back as far as through a challenge bag. As far as
I will tell you this, guys, it's about a half of a football to the goal line.
All right, that's what the Chargers are looking here at on 3rd and goal, and the Chargers still have 2 timeouts left. So if end up, definitely don't get in, could easily call another timeout here, but end up in the I formation. Miller in the backfield dotting the I, and KJ Court goes straight ahead, and there's a late signal touchdown, Chargers. So Chargers get the touchdown here right before halftime as far as answer the Wolverines that got the quick score as well. Court just went straight ahead.
No flags.
No flags.
Okay.
Nothing. Yeah.
The reason I'm asking is because the lights went dark. You know how our new lighting system is amazing, and I was making sure we got the points.
So Matthew Coleman out. Jackson Hood high snap, gets the snap down, and right through the uprights there for the extra point attempt, and it's good. It's 35-7 here with 19 seconds here before halftime.
That was a good drive. I mean, I think that drive started around the 3-minute mark, 2:55 or something like that, and we eat up a lot of clock and we produced.
Yeah, it looked like earlier in the game we talked about. It seemed like the game plan was to get Miller the ball, and that last drive it looked like, hey, we're going to try to be focused this possession. Let's get Cunningham the ball. So we had a couple, pass attempt that led to when he came up the sidelines, tried to go back to him again, and then went to him again with the big hitter, got us down to the 3-yard line. But it looked like it was focused how we're going to get Cunningham the ball.
Yeah, they've got a lot of history with each other now. Cunningham's a senior now, but Cork, he started as a true freshman.
That's right.
So this is his 3rd full year to be at the helm.
Oh, yeah. He's experienced as a junior. He's had multiple years behind him. I think that if it was going to be a squib kick or however, definitely I don't think it was designed as an onside kick at all.
That one there, it almost worked out.
It almost
even though
did.
it may not have been planned.
Yeah, I think as far as last week, or the 2 weeks ago, I thought that we might have been drawing up a onside kick and the T went further, but might have been one of those same ones as far as right there. But
well, I'm gonna say Chris's. I was gonna tell you we're right at the 300-yard mark in total offense, and it's halftime basically.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Yeah. I'm looking back at our drives here that what we have. It's a lot of yards.
So Chargers have 3 defensive linemen down, 8 back in coverage, and does the same play as the Wolverines did on the score last time, just ran it to the opposite side, just instead of take the handoff and hand it to Bingham, and just ran the same play, but picks up about first down, and it's going to be 10 seconds and counting, and timeout's going to be called by the Wolverines, so we'll take it with them. We'll be back in just a few seconds for probably the final play of the first half. Wolverines are coming back onto the field here. 11 seconds on the game clock. First and 10. Still in Wolverine territory at the 48. Thrown up the sidelines. This time it was number 14 in at quarterback. That's going to be Avant. He tries to hit number 11, Potts, Kendrick Potts, going up the sidelines. But you could tell Potts was more interested in where everybody else was running when he was going up the sidelines. He did not stretch out or anything for the pass because he was looking to make sure for any kind of collision up that sidelines.
And we had 2 men, one glued to him and one headed right at him.
So that took a few seconds off, 6 seconds here before half. Avant still at quarterback. Throws it out to the left flat to number 8. And he's going to be tackled, and that's going to do it for the first half. So Chargers are in the lead, 35-7. Jeremy, your thoughts on the first half?
My thoughts, Chris, are it's 35-7. You're winning that 4 scores over 5th ranked, maybe in all of 3A, and also undefeated East Webster. So when they've been undefeated, and you've got a lead like that, that's right. That's playing with heart. Choctaw County's doing what they need to do tonight.
Chris, your thoughts as far as on the first half?
Yeah, I've been very impressed, guys, with the defensive play. They've held East Webster, to a few third and fourth down plays for sure, and so it's been very, very, very obvious that Chargers come to play tonight, and so we can't take the foot off the gas as we come into the second half.
Yeah, I can't agree more. You got to be pleased with what you saw. Have done a lot of good things as far as here in the first half, and end up coming to the game. You knew there was going to be a hard-fought game with East Webster being, like you said, number 5th in 3A and statewide, and end up the only other team that was in the north that was ranked with the Chargers, and for them to and they're undefeated. So not only come in here, they come in with a lot of confidence and stuff. As far as went to the Boneyard and went to Cowan City and came out of there with the win, and most of these other wins they've had have been not close games. 35-6 over Upor, 41-6 over Nanawaya, 54-0 over Noxapater, 55-6 over Bone. So they put up some points and stuff, and so the Chargers defense to come out and play like they done has been very impressive. Gabe had the one, feel like as far as play that got away from them, that was the long run for the touchdown, but Charger defense had to come in a couple times with short field and come up with big stops as far as to get the offense back the ball. But we'll see what this second half is in store. We'll leave the stream up as far as we can see both bands and try to have some audio there. But appreciate watching Charger football here on the Friday night game of the week on the Charger Football Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome to the field your all-superior Pride of Choctaw County marching band. Section leaders for the band are Brooklyn Pratt, Ella Claire Turnipseed, Ramsey Trice, Hunter Holland, Emma Weeks, Tyler Sanders, Owen Clark, Eli Green, Kaylin Chansey, Gavin Burton, and Kara Henson. The band is under the field direction of drum major Jacob Wilson, and tonight's soloists are Emma Weeks and Owen Clark. Tonight's show invites you to a night at the circus with musical selections Caravan, Under the Big Top, Dumbo, and Those Magnificent Men. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, would you give a big welcome to your Pride of Choctaw County marching band.
Well, welcome back to Charger Football here on the Charger Football Network. We're like 25 seconds here. Both teams are on the field. They've done the stretches and come back from the locker room. So getting ready as far as to start this second half. I know Jeremy was working on some totals on yardage and things from the first half. KJ Cork will end up being 10 of 15 for 173 here in the first half. So end up good production by Cork. I know Chris Coleman's going to join us up here in the booth as far as for this second half, but he was talking about a play you were particularly were impressed with on Cork in the first half.
Yeah, that play where he scrambled on the visitor sideline over there, East Webster was just following him all the way down the field, and he took his eyes over here on the home sideline like he was going to pass to Caleb Cunningham. Of course, everybody was pushing that way, and he just scrambled that way. And I told him when he come to the sideline, I said, that's a good solid play on your part, and he's just built to be able to scramble, and he's built to be able to pass, and we've seen both from him this first half.
Yeah, and I think that threat as far as the run and picking up those yards it makes him that much more valuable of a quarterback as far as he can pick up that crucial first down when you need it as well. So here the Chargers getting ready to kick off the ball here in the second half. It's going to be fielded by Crowley about the 15-yard line, and he goes straight up the middle, and he spins around. He's going to be tackled about the 40-yard line. So pretty good starting field position there for the Wolverines. 35-7 is your score here in this ball game. But Chargers end up Jeremy was tallying, but we knew it was going to be over 300 yards production in the first half. So that's, getting it done offensively.
Absolutely, Chris. They 320 yards, and then we'll go back to Court for just a minute. We gave you his passing stats, but one of those was a touchdown, and he had 2 rushes for touchdowns. So he's accountable for 3 touchdowns the first half, and of course we handed the ball off a ton to Miller, and he has 14 carries for 89 yards.
So about half of where he's been most of the time. That ball gets slung out into the flat and connected with number 11. Like Kendrick Potts, and it's going to be tackled a couple yards short of the first down. Yeah. But Cooper Stidham, we've seen Stidham, we've seen Avant, we've seen a couple different quarterbacks for the Wolverines, but that was Stidham here on this possession here. So.
Gave our defensive back a ride on it. He was really trying to run with him. He had him on his back, didn't he? These guys, like I said, they're showing fight.
That's going to be Bingham going around the right edge and tries to get out of bounds, tackled right before he goes out of bounds, but it's going to be enough for a first down and going to be quickly in the Wolverines are going to be in the Charger territory.
Yeah, Nehemiah Mitchell over here pushing him out of bounds for the Chargers again. He was the one that made that play just a second ago. You were talking about Jeremy on the far side of the field.
Yeah, he locked up on just Bingham. He's really strong.
Yep.
It's one of those things when you get this big of a lead, end up the intensity trying to pick that up here is to start the second half.
That's a great point, Chris. Okay, that was a good stop just then. What was that? That was second down. Okay, these guys, though, they're not going to quit, but we're lined up. I don't know. I think we do have the intensity. It looks like they came out. The guys got loose. They look really good to me. We just need a good stop right here to start this second half.
Well, I guess that was just the point where it's not, not that that it's not a one-score game or however. So I mean, if you do give up something, it's not. You have a cushion right here. But I know this Charger defense has a lot of pride. There's a lot of pressure right there. Stidham's flushed out to his right and throws a duck up the side and end up number 11 for the Chargers going to be Elmar Gladney.
Yeah,
hits him in the paws and stuff as far as unable to secure it, but it was almost end over end.
got a flag there, usually in the vicinity of a hole, and that's exactly what it's going to be.
Chargers could have came up with a turnover there, just unable to secure it.
And the quarterback was running for his life out. If you're only just listening to this game somehow, and you're not watching that, he run 40 yards across the field to get nothing. So incomplete pass at the end. But
yeah.
I thought our big linemen, they were really hustling after him there.
Yeah, number 23 was leading. Trevon Pratt was really coming after him.
Maybe he's winded a little bit. We can slow him down, for this next play.
That's going to be an incomplete pass. I guess, got focused on number 50. Shoemaker got toward a cut as the ball was rolling out and pursuit, and got cut by one of the, running back. And I think he was looking for, was he in contact with one person when he got cut? As far as what the ruling is as far as on that. But he was looking for some help.
And solid play there for the Wolverine offensive line that time, guys. I mean, there was a lot of good blocks there from that offensive line. There was no pressure on the QB that time whatsoever.
But that ended up being, even though no pressure, he underthrew it just a little bit,
did.
allowed our defender to come in there, and we made the play on the ball.
So 3rd and 20. Stidham looks down the field and gets it back to the original line of scrimmage as far as so it would be 10 yards short. So it's going to bring up 4th down. Ball's now at the 45. So going to be spotted in Charger territory.
Yeah, I think they're still going to lack about 10, but he put a lot of zip on that ball. It was really hard to defend that one the way he threw it. It was a good play. It's just there's still a lot left to field. Hopefully they're going to punt, and we're not in the faking territory right now is what I'm hoping.
Yeah, and that's what looks like on the field is number 25 comes out, Jordan Gaskin, to punt. Snaps back. Gaskin puts a foot into it. End over end punt's going to be fielded about the 10-yard line. It's going to be Jeremiah Miller, and he goes out of bounds. And there comes a flag.
Saw one of our guys on the ground late. It could have been a late hit from them, but I didn't see it with my own eyes, so we'll know just in a moment.
Typically going to get a block in the back on the coverage team. It's usually on the return,
right.
But did see our player on the ground and looked like we'll see what the call is here in just a minute.
They had Caleb Cunningham back there too, when they was lining up for reception on that punt as well. So that was different.
Little different wrinkle right there as far as have Miller and Cunningham, and where are you going to put the ball? So there. But this one's going to go back against the Chargers the way it's backing up.
It's like around the 7-yard line.
Yeah, if that was half the different distance, it would have been at the 14, I guess.
I never did see the official come out and give a signal.
So Chargers are going to be backed up in the shadow of their end zone. Just a little flare, get it to the running back as far as basically just a pitch there into the sidelines and picks up some positive yards at about 5 yards. So it may 2nd down and 5. Just trying to get your playmakers the ball in space. Court just takes snap, hands it to Jeremiah Miller going around the right side. He turns the corner, I thought, for just a second and end up. So it's going to be a short gain, if any. So it's going to bring up 3rd down.
The marker did not move, so it's just no gain.
Yeah. But it looked like the way his initial burst, he was going to be able to turn the corner, but just unable to pick up any production on that. And this, where you're at, he was hoping to pick it up on the ground without having to put the ball in the air. Court looking to the sidelines. Goes up under center and then backing back up with Miller to his left.
2 seconds.
Gets it off just in time and hands it off to Miller going straight ahead. And he's going to be, it just looks from here, going to be a little short.
Yeah, and I saw a flag come out there at the very end as well.
False start. That was end up y'all would have stopped that play as far as it got so far?
I would have figured on a false start, one of us three would have saw it.
Yeah, I didn't see any movement. I know they were rushing there. He was down to the last second before he snapped the ball.
Right. There was, 1 second left, on the clock there.
So 3rd and 9 with the 5 yards added on. Cork surveying the field. Pocket sort of collapses and is going to be intercepted. Throws across the middle. Is short, going for Cunningham, but it's underthrown and end up going to see that one just gets intercepted as it goes down to his knees sort of to catch it, so he's automatically down.
Yeah, threw it right to him.
Yeah, so unable to, get any return yards on it. But, we talked about that and just being backed up right there and then having to put the ball in the air, tried to pick it up. But the penalty put them 3rd and 9 and just an errant pass right there.
Yeah, it's just not, there's never a great time for interception. But I guess when you're just right there so close, with your back against the end zone, there are some places that are worse to throw one. And we are definitely, giving them the ball. We're at the 24-yard line.
Yeah, right in charge of territory, right on the outside of the red zone.
Yeah, and East Webster guys, that they're a team you definitely do not want them hanging around, and they're not going to bow out at any point. They're going to play physical throughout the remainder of this game. So you definitely don't want to give them any opportunities, and throwing that interception right there, putting them right there in the red zone, as you mentioned, Chris, is a prime opportunity for them.
Exactly, Coleman.
Good tackle there.
Yeah, Elmar Gladney comes up. I thought he was going to make a really vicious hit, secures the tackle, which is just as important as far as getting the Wolverine to the ground for no gain. So it's going to bring up 3rd and 10.
Yeah, it's a big play for the Charger defense right here.
And turnovers, this is the 3rd time this game that there's been a short field here for the Wolverines because of a turnover, but interesting as far as on the stream, you're getting to see all the graphics and different things from on the Jumbotron as well. So Stidham at quarterback, back to his right. He takes the snap and hands it off to number 2, his back, going straight up the middle, makes a cut.
Yeah.
And he's going to be down to about the 6 or 7 yard line, but got north and south right there and picked up the first down.
He looked like he's running hard. The running back's doing a great job. Bingham, he's that was like a bowling ball style.
Yeah.
The way he came through that line just then, he bounced off several. Hard to use your arms around him when he runs it with the way he's low.
Yeah,
he's a good grounded runner.
So now at the quarterback position is going to be Moye. No, I see as far as had 3 running backs. So it's going to be still just under center. Had 2 layers, receivers in the pattern and couldn't tell as far as for sure, but was going to the back. You had a better view of it. Was going to the receiver in the back of the end zone.
Yeah, he was, and good coverage by the D-backs for the Chargers there for sure.
Yeah, as the quarterback rolled right, just like he had a pair right in front of him, rolling with him across, and I was like, okay, who's he going to throw it to? Because they were both covered.
Yeah, so if you overthrew one, as far as you got the back, so you know that, but end up both were. But good coverage there by the Chargers, so end up 2nd down and goal from about the 7-yard line.
A stop would be nice right here if we could stand tall, guys. Yeah.
Stidham takes the hard snap, fakes it to the right, and just runs up north and south, and he's going to get into the end zone for the touchdown for the Wolverines.
He did. He called his own number there, and the hole just opened up for him, and nobody touched him.
And the one lick we hit on, put on him, looked like it propelled him on into the end zone.
So 6:03 here in the 3rd quarter. Wolverines are out for the point after attempt. Jordan Gaskin's kick is up and good. So 35-14 is your score. 6:03 remaining here in the third quarter. So we'll be back in just a second with the kickoff. The Wolverines getting the kickoff, setting the kickoff, end over end kick. It's going to be a short one, fielding about the 34-yard line. Chargers take it and weaving and bobbing through the Wolverines coverage team. Chargers going to be over into Wolverine territory here with that kick return, and that's a very good return to get over into Wolverine territory.
Yeah, and that's the kind of response you need from the Chargers after giving up that touchdown to East Webster there. So, to start this possession in Wolverine territory.
I liked his drive he had after when he started returning just then. I think he had by the end of the play there were 6 men on him.
Yeah.
I mean, he just would
Carrying
not go
him.
down.
Yeah.
Savion Miller, as far as was on the return there, number 6 for
Yeah,
the Chargers.
we called his name a lot last week as well, or week before last when we were here.
So when you see all those bounding programs they do in the off season and working their legs, that's what I was envisioning when I saw him out there moving like that.
And I didn't mention they're going to say the wide receiver was down right there, number 1.
Yeah.
And that Tayshawn King, and that's going to be a tackle for a loss or completion for a loss. But I didn't mention what Miller did do on number 6 on that previous return. It would have been easy to go down to your knee to catch that ball as far as the kickoff, and it would have been down right there. But he did well as far as to not put a knee on the ground to keep that alive ball, being able to return it. But Chargers here behind the chains on that first completion that was for negative yards. So 2 wide receivers here in this narrow part of the field. Cork with the hard count. Trying to draw the Wolverines off as far as maybe. So timeout's going to be called by the Chargers. I don't know. The play clock go down on them quicker than what they thought.
It was running down pretty quick, and Coach Mitchell didn't have to run down the field that time.
Yeah. Well, I think as far as maybe the conversation that was had between the Charger coaching staff and the officials before halftime maybe had helped. They were a little more attentive with what was going on.
He needed that one called at the 1 second mark. And it was called at the 1 second mark. So. All right. So I like Cunningham's shoes tonight. So they're really bright compared to anyone else that's on the field. I could pick him out I just glanced.
I saw some comments a little bit. I couldn't see them all as far as we're doing the stream. I saw some things really liking the shoes number 3 or some comments. So they're definitely showing up good on the stream as well. Those bright yellow shoes as well.
The problem is, guys, when you're down on the field especially, if you look out there on the field, looks like a flag laying out there.
That's for true. Yeah. So same formation here. Court just follows right in behind Tayshawn King. He's going to be tackled for a minimum gain.
I thought he had handed it off to Tayshawn. My eyes were tracking him, so it was pretty good.
Either if it was supposed to, he said, well, I better get in behind. This was the hole that it was supposed to go in, and I'm going to follow him. But that was the way he ended up took that ball and went with it. But 3rd down and 12, right about midfield. Trips to the left. Cork scrambling, running into the boundary, and gets it to Cunningham. A lot of times you see, especially in the NFL, as far as, let me get that quarterback, just I want to get the ball to somebody else besides me. So, but he does get some positive yards right there, but gets it up to Cunningham that just sort of stopped as far as waiting on it.
Brings up 4th down, and Chargers are going to send the punt unit back. Maybe this time we can pin them down close to the end zone.
Well, that was a 7-yard catch, guys. And, you know, he tried. He wasn't trying to get out of bounds. He got him a few extra yards after catch, but 3 defenders were right there. Nowhere to go. He was cornering to the sideline as well. You know, just a couple more yards or whatever. Just he could have broke free. You know?
Well, Wolverines had to burn a timeout there. Had too many players on the field as they were trying to rush one off. The Chargers were trying to maybe get that snap off as far as the Wolverines called a timeout to keep from the penalty.
So we're down. We've both used one up already, I guess, in this third quarter.
Yeah.
You know, got us down to 2.
They were pretty beneficial to us in the first half as we were winding down, you know, to be able to score again right before halftime. So, but as you mentioned, you know, both have burned one this time.
Yeah, and at that point and being very wise with them, you end up kept you with you could pass or run, or you knew you didn't have to. Were limited just to pass, pass plays as well.
Well, guys, I'm going to say this: it's 35-14. You know, and if you're the losing team right now, or the team that's behind you, you feel like you're facing a mountain. But we're on the winning team right now. But I feel like we're not up enough. I'm thinking, man, if they score on this, here we are looking at a 2-possession game.
No, you can't ever let your guard down against a team like East Webster for sure.
Yeah, spiraling punt. It's going to hit again about the 15-yard line, and this one's going to go into the end zone as well for the touchback. But looked very similar. I guess some of the Chargers are trying to say it was touched by East.
Our coaches are too. I believe they it kind of looked like he did.
Yeah, Chris is Coleman. As soon as I saw it, like the ball was
deflected. No, it looked like it moved, and I know.
I believe it's a no call though. You know?
Yep. So ball's going to be spotted at the 20 with the touchback, but end up very similar kick from earlier by Jackson Hood that end up didn't turn out as well as it could have.
I've seen a lot of improvement in our punting game tonight. The not just prettier, but we're getting some off on distance. Looks like he's putting it where he wants to. A big improvement from the first couple set of games.
Yeah, our special teams all the way around has improved. And, you know, getting into district play, you know, that's definitely can win or lose you some ball games for sure.
That's right.
It had they were showing on the replay the part where it looked very
definitely
close.
So yeah. I got a text here just a second ago that said it looked pretty obvious that it was touched, but nonetheless brings up 2nd down. Yeah,
the Wolverines tried to hit Crowley there, streaking down the field, and just had a step or two, just overshot the receiver. Stidham just didn't put enough air up underneath it. This is going to be Avant in at quarterback now. Gets pressure, and he is flushed out to the side.
Oh, nobody there.
Unloads. And
there it is now. It took him a minute to get it out, Jeremy, but he finally got it out. Jeremy's been calling it here for a second, but he finally got it out.
Yeah, I was wondering because he was letting go of the ball before he got completely out of the pocket. And anyway, like you said, no receiver in the zip code over there. Yeah. So I felt like that flag should come out.
And for a right-handed quarterback, rolling to your left is one of the
yeah.
hardest, harder ones, and end up
and backwards,
Yeah.
left end falling,
And back-
going back towards
with-
the end zone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
awkward.
He
Yes.
could feel the breath of the Charger.
Oh yeah.
so half the distance to the goal, so the ball's going to be spotted outside, the 10-yard line. So the Wolverines are backed up in their territory. Avant rolls to his right, looking down the field, throws across his body, and there's going to be a it's contact as far as from number 20 in coverage. Nehemiah Mitchell was in coverage, the sophomore cornerback, and there was some contact there, but
Watch the replay. Was he past the line of scrimmage though when he threw the ball?
he was not. He was
Very
about
close.
the 8 or so it looked like and stuff on that.
Yeah, I'm not. No, I don't think I agree with the. Oh, there's a good. But I don't agree with the. I'm talking about the penalty. Down here deep. I didn't really see all that.
Jeremy, I mean, I've remember you playing defensive back as far as, and I feel like you probably would have said that was minimum contact.
Yeah.
Very well.
That was minimum. I did hear the crowd though just then go boo. They're booing.
Yeah,
I guess,
so end up, yeah. So.
I totally get that.
Still going to be short just a few yards. The guys third down and 4.
So not anything that was automatic first down or anything. So possession, 3rd and 4 here.
Yeah, no one was open to throw it to. It was great coverage by the Chargers.
Yeah, and we hadn't called the defense out there in the last couple possessions, but they played a good possession there. He finally broke free to get pressure on the QB, and he had to throw it away.
Glad to see that 4th down.
Yeah, Jordan Gaskin back on the field. About similar territory and place on the field where the last one went over his head. 2 backs back to return this is going to be Cunningham and Jeremiah Miller. And looks like a timeout.
Yeah, we had to use another one there.
That's 2 of the best hands guys to be back there.
Mm-hmm.
That I definitely like seeing that. Have we saw that earlier this season?
It's the first game that I've
That's
seen
what
Cunningham back for that. So
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
The shoes. See those
The
shoes.
shoes.
That,
That's
if
what it
I'm
is.
young, I got those shoes on. Say, look, they make me faster. And so that's definitely where he needs to be, though. Those 2 that makes them kick them to one of them.
well, that's what I'm saying. You pick your poison there.
That's right. It's a good strategy. East Webster really brought a crowd, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Their stands are full.
I got here, guys, 45 minutes. I know y'all were here earlier than that, but I got here about 45 minutes before the game started. And the visitor parking lot was near capacity,
Yeah.
And it's probably over capacity now. It's really, really, really full.
Yeah, I had a couple East Webster friends as far as watching the stream as well. I was impressed with what the field looked like, and was giving some good comments as far as back on it.
It's really nice of them.
Yeah, some knuckleball. It's going to hit.
Take a Charger bounce, yeah.
Now that's the bounce we needed, guys, earlier when
It
we
was,
when
yeah.
we punted down here.
Absolutely.
But it took off. Okay.
Yeah, one of the Wolverine supporters, Glenn Stone, was messaging, asking, was this still the field down on 15, was asking, but it's pretty impressive as far as the way it looks and stuff. It's the Chargers still perfect here at home. But good starting field position here for the Chargers.
2 drives in a row, barely over the 50. You know, we're at 47. Now we're at the 49, I believe, right? Where we are.
Yeah, we need to make the most of this one for sure. And
One of the officials running down the field with the ball. I'm trying to figure this out.
wait a minute.
We'll take it from there.
They've got 4th down up there.
So we're gonna have there's a penalty against the Chargers.
Wow.
Gonna be assists.
Not sure what's going on. I guess they'll let us know in a moment here.
I'd say let's go to the sideline guy, but
Looks like it's gonna be Wolverine football, fresh set of downs.
Goodness gracious.
So end up can't expect.
Got it marked at the 36.
Yeah, first down. So it's gonna be a Charger defense like they're taking the field
Well,
right now.
it definitely wasn't anything there on the punter because we didn't bring any pressure whatsoever.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I wouldn't mind knowing. Well, maybe we'll find out after the game. We just got to stand tall on defense right here and get the ball back.
It's a new life for him. Big stand there, though.
Yeah, just nowhere to go as Chargers strung that one out nicely into the boundary.
And guys, that's Elmore Gladney again made that tackle for the Chargers. He's been all over the field tonight.
And him and Patton both were really they stretched that guy out
Yeah.
just then. They ran him left and right there, or east and west, I should say. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be an incomplete pass unless I can't see as far as that one. Definitely bounced off the turf here.
I was a little worried because the far official was running down like he was going to call it complete.
Yeah, the receiver definitely tried to sell it.
He did.
You know what I mean? Which is what you
What you're
expect
supposed
of
to do, yeah.
But it looked like
That was
yeah.
it was Crowley that was was trying to sell the reception, but Stidham ended up Cooper Stidham just faked the handoff as far as pulled those linebackers in a little bit, had a little bit of some opening right there, but just underthrew just a little bit.
Crucial 3rd down with 2 minutes to go here before the end of the 3rd. Chargers looking to get the ball back.
Oh, heavy pressure. Got him.
The ball is out, and it's going to be a scoop.
Chargers cut.
Shoemaker, and he's going up the sidelines.
Look at the footwork.
Look at this.
To go out of
All right,
bounds.
they called him out.
Yeah.
Called him out at the 12.
So that was going to be Ben Jarvis Shoemaker with the scoop, and I thought it was going to be the scoop and score. It's like nobody was going to get this big man down.
He put the brakes on there and had a little misdirection like he was coming back toward us there.
His footwork would look like the Alabama receiver Saturday night.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, that's impressive.
So and y'all mentioned as far as name, that was Zaylen Patton as far as with the strip. But, yeah, and he wasn't going to – he didn't step out of bounds. It was going to be for Shoemaker a touchdown right there. But now the Chargers with the turnover created the turnover and got great field position outside the 10.
So I do feel good that we're finally getting a short field. You know, we've gave up 3 or 4 tonight, you know. It's nice for us to be on the receiving end of that gift.
Yeah. Got a Wolverine that's hobbling a little bit, and they'll have to bring him off.
Hagan Craven. It's a lot of guys playing for both teams
ways, yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
so Chargers picked up about 3 on that Jeremiah Miller run. Court calls for snap, hands it back off to Miller, going off the left side, and quite a collision. Big hit came up from Elijah O'Brien, the linebacker.
ends up 3rd and 8 for the Chargers.
So checking into the game, Ashton Lilly, a freshman. Cork takes the handoff and gives it to Cunningham coming on the end around. Cunningham with a burst of speed. A flag comes out in the backfield, but Cunningham goes in for the touchdown.
We had a Choctaw County player had a man that lost his helmet. I'm hoping that's where the penalty's coming from.
And it looks like
Yeah, I think it's going to be against the Wolverines. Of course, be declined, but they're discussing it a little bit.
So Cunningham took it on the end around, as you see on the stream, about the 10, and he just broke a tackle, and just nobody was bringing him down as he glided into the end zone on that far sideline.
Yeah, face mask against the Wolverines. So now we'll get the light show.
That's going to bring Matthew Coleman out to attempt the point after attempt. Jackson Hood to hold.
It definitely makes me feel better. We had a comfortable lead, but when you know it's 4 possessions going into the fourth quarter, you breathe a little easier.
And the kick is up, and it's good, and that's going to extend the lead to 42-14. And, you know, Jeremy, you mentioned as far as you wanted to get some points. And we hadn't had any second half points yet, so you end up do that as well.
Yeah, and not to take anything away from this defense of the Wolverines, because they've been playing solid as well. And, you know, it was just one of those situations where they gave up the fumble and gave us a short field there, and they just, you know, we took advantage of that short field at that time.
And you were saying, Jeremy, 28 points, I mean, if a quarter goes absolutely perfect, you know, typically 28 is about the maximum, just about points you just go out and score in a quarter.
That's right.
So, I mean, you feel very confident here at the ending seconds here of the third quarter.
Absolutely. Yeah. You know, thinking about how that went for East Webster on their defense on last short field, you know, they couldn't stop us on that one. I'm just really proud of the Chargers tonight for, you know, we've had our backs like that. I know several, but I think 3 out of the 4 times for sure we were able to stop them and hold them, even on the short field.
Well, the East Webster quarterback, whoever's been in there at the time, rolling to the left into that has been dangerous in that last little bit as far as with the grounded penalty, and then later on the one as far as almost the scoop and score. But the face mask penalty gets a short field. The penalty's been assessed during the kickoff, so kicking off over into Wolverine territory. Squib down the middle of the field, and it goes off Crowley's helmet. He goes down to his knee at the 5, and it's going to be where the ball is going to be spotted. Just he goes down to field it as it's going across there, bounces off his helmet, and then the second time when he picks it up, just has a knee on the ground.
Yeah, and he looked upfield like he was about to take off as well. And I thought he wanted to for sure.
I think that's when he realized, I was down. You know? Yeah. He's played really hard tonight.
He has, and you know, a solid player that's played both sides of the ball.
Yeah, a lot of snaps as far as and not just we're taking any plays off, and you know, a lot of times in coverage, running down the field as far as so a lot of time as far as running up and down the field tonight.
East Webster, we flipped the field well with them. They're on the 5-yard line, you know, and their last drive was around the 10.
Fumbles on the ground. The bag comes out. And it's going to be
Charger football.
Yeah, so end up number 10.
It's going to be at about the half-yard line.
Zaylin Patton right there with the fumble recovery is who I think came up with it.
Chris, I think you mentioned it in that first half, and you know, win the turnover battle, and so far the Chargers have done that, you know, in this game, and you know, taking advantage of it, having short field with that turnover, and you know, right here on the half-yard line, you might as well say. So maybe we'll get another score before the end of the third quarter.
And I couldn't tell right there for sure who came up with the fumble recovery, but Chavez Sellers was definitely in on the play, number 21, either making the tackle or come. And so, but so many Chargers were celebrating on that play. But Court just going to take that one straight ahead, and he's going to looks like plunge into the end zone. There's the signal for the touchdown. Quarterback sneak, Charger touchdown, and that's going to make things speed up probably here in this fourth and final quarter.
That is Cunningham's third sneak for touchdown. Cork. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
so no,
yeah.
I'm just
Yeah,
looking
Cork,
at you.
yes. I'm sitting here looking at it, and I'm saying the wrong thing, looking at both guys. But, our quarterback tonight,
That's
Cork,
right.
sorry, guys, that's listening out there, but KJ Cork has done a good job securing that ball close when he's down there and had to run it in and punch it in.
Yeah.
He's done a great job of that. And I believe it was the last game we played here, too, where he had 3 rushing TDs in as well.
I believe so, Jeremy. The kick is up and good there by Coleman, and it's going to be 48-14 is our score. So 14 seconds left here in the third quarter. That was a disastrous possession there for the Wolverines. With the started with the special teams play and just getting the ball on the 5-yard line. You're backed up, very similar to when the Chargers were backed up as far as there. So that ended up made a short field on the turnover with the half-yard line. So pretty tough situation to put your defense in.
Absolutely.
And, kind of goes back to that penalty, where the kickoff was actually in East Webster territory when we kicked it off.
Yes.
It actually pinned them back there, that we were able to take advantage of that fumble itself.
How things sort of stack and lead up to happening, but you're exactly right. It wouldn't have squibbed it that deep as far as probably if it hadn't been for that penalty.
I like that song they're playing out there for the fans right now. Welcome to my house.
Welcome to my house. I think any team that's played here already, guys, will tell you it's a tough place to play.
No doubt about it, Coleman.
So Dagan Crowley on the return gets the ball back to the 30-yard line. So 7 seconds here, so probably one more play here in the third quarter.
Guys, earlier in the year, on the games that start to get, really opened up with a wide margin of lead, I guess, by one team, they could run the clock. Do you do that in district games or not?
Yes, I think so.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What is that threshold?
35 points.
Okay.
It's, they call it buddy rule, or sort of off the EMCC is part.
Right.
Where maybe some of it got started Mississippi-wise and stuff, but ended up 35 points is that threshold. And I think, as far as it.
Well, we're there right now.
Mm-hmm.
And that does it for the third quarter. They let the clock, just looking at it, went to 0 before that ball was snapped.
And that brings the third quarter to a close. After 3 quarters of play, your score, Chargers 49, Wolverines 14.
And one of the last times we did have a running clock, it was through everything. It did not matter. It was just 12 live minutes. However, it didn't matter what timeout.
Incomplete.
It did not matter. There was no stopping of the clock. So
Yeah, we had that last week at Yazoo County as well, guys, in the second half, and got down to the 2-second mark in the fourth quarter, and Yazoo County called a timeout, and they stopped the clock. So. It was kind of interesting.
So you like this one too, Jeremy? A little swag.
Oh, okay, yeah, maybe a little. I don't know it as well.
Panning
like,
the crowd there,
yeah,
and it's
looks
still here. On the home side, there's still a ton of folks here, but you look over on the visitor side, and they're starting to ease toward the parking lot over there, guys.
Yeah.
But I still go back to what you said, Jim. I mean, you know, they're a team you don't want to give up on. They're going to give you 4 quarters.
That's right.
Handoff straight ahead. That was going to be number 4, Artavius Moore. I guess we'll be able to tell the first incompletion here if it stops here in just a second. So 11:34 in counting.
It's like he slipped down on that one. Brings up a good point, though, on this, the way they can run the clock when it's, you know, the big difference we were talking about. A lot of times when it gets like that, it's not just to help the other team not get it too far out of hand, but a lot of times these guys, these 17, 18-year-olds, that's when they get a little chippy out there. You know, you know, I've seen that before over the years, where you'll see the penalties pick up and things. So
that's right.
I think it's a good thing to run it when it gets to that point.
Throw out into the flat. That's going to be completed to number 21, to carry a coffee. So moves the chains. And shows, you know, a little sportsmanship too, I guess, too, as far as with it. With the part as far as running the clock as well, Jeremy.
That's right.
Flag comes out on the side. It's probably in the neighborhood of holding. It's number 4, Artavius Moore, going around that right side. Was going picked up 12, 13 yards, enough for a first down, but we'll wait on the call. But just like a couple linemen had one of the Charger defensive guys down.
Yeah, it'll be against the Wolverines. So that
he called. What was that call though?
it was a hole.
So instead of would have been a first
No,
down.
that's not a hole. No.
Not sure what that was. I just know that when I look down there, I see 2 Wolverine linemen on the ground.
Must have been a legal chop block or some kind of legal block, because it's 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, it moves them back to the 31.
But when you see your offensive lineman on the ground, that usually means they've taken somebody down with them, and that's
and it was 2 of them there too, so it ended up probably one of those legal contact player safety as you were talking about earlier.
Right.
Stidham rolling to his right, pointing down the field.
Got a gap.
Connects, and it's going to be enough, picks up enough, I think, for the first down. The completion was going to be to number 3. That was going to be Campbell Flora, and ended up for the first down, but was pointing downfield and took a hit. Stidham did as he threw it, as far as it was pressure in the face, and stood there and made the completion. So big time, you know, throw right there that knew you was going to take a pretty good blow to the chest right there.
Yeah, number 32, Isaiah Maxwell, he laid the wood.
Yes, yeah.
Shifty run right there.
Yeah, just weaving a little bit. So 2nd and short here for the Wolverines.
Oh.
It's going to be right about the first down marker.
Coleman, I know what you saw.
Yeah, good. That was good penetration there, and I mean,
it's good.
Yeah.
being right at the first down, the signal is to go ahead and move the chains. It's going to be first down and 10.
But the clock is rolling, guys, and looks like we have work to. I've seen several D-back change, linebacker change, swap. We'll keep moving some guys in and out, getting some guys some experience. And I'm okay when you give up points late, when you know you're still in control of this game, but when you can help that guy earn his letter or help him get a little bit more playing time, because you never know. This is a game. It's a physical game. And if, one person goes down or gets a season-ending injury, you've got to have somebody else that's got to step up and finish it out for the year.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is just the first game of the district. And, you got district play for the next, few weeks, fellas. On the road next week, the Chargers are to Aberdeen, then back at home for senior night against Morville in a couple weeks. And, so the next 2 or 3 games, definitely, you're in that district play. So.
That's right.
I think what makes one of the things that makes football very special in the sense of the amount of people you can have on a team and still be engaged. I mean, let's just say with baseball or some other, and that's going to be a pitch and catch. It's going to be completed with number 11, and he's going to go in for the end zone. That was going to be Potts with the catch from Stidham, but Chargers collided themselves as far as together, and looked like Potts just was able to slip off as far as to get on into the end zone.
Yeah.
But my thing is that it's hard to keep that many people engaged with baseball. It's really a lot of, even though it's team, it's a bunch of individual performances going on and stuff. But the way practice works in football, you're everybody's contributing. You can do from special teams. There's so many different nuances and different things. But getting buy-in and getting everybody, that's making everyone better and holding people accountable. I don't know. I think football is able to get so many more people involved. And stuff.
I think that's a great thought.
Great analogy.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so end up here, whether or not, get some playing time tonight, which is big time as far as later on are stepping up, but also as far as that more willing to engaged in football practice to make that first team better as far as there and competition and stuff as far as
Speaking of the engagement, guys, I saw a meme this week on one of the social media platforms. I thought it was hilarious. It was talking about, a lot of people think when your kid goes out to right field, they're getting punished in Little League. Well, it showed the salaries of the major leaguers, and the guys who make the most are in right field.
some sluggers out there in right field.
Put me in, Coach.
Put me in, Coach. I was thinking about that when you were talking about, engaging and staying in the game.
Stuff,
But Little League, you know how it is.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're in playoff baseball now, in MLB, and there's been some good wild card races, and of course my team's out. They lost in two games in the wild card. Mr. Drew Thomas, who I know is listening right now, his team's out. They lost in 2 games too in the wild card, and the Astros. So it's been tough on us, but it's this time of year in Major League Baseball is a good time to pick up and watch. Some good quality games to watch.
Braves and Astros, definitely the 2 teams I've been to watch over the years.
So that kick's going to go into the end zone for the touchback, and the Chargers will have it there. 4:22 and counting, so end up with just a few more minutes here left to go in this opening game in District 4, 3A for the Chargers. End up coming into this game as far as East Webster being 5-0 on the season, and end up jumping up there as far as rankings as well. So good test for the Chargers tonight.
Right, and I mentioned, Chargers being on the road in district play in Aberdeen next week, and then back here from Morville the following week. Looks like the East Webster will be playing Hamilton at home next week, which isn't a division match for them, but they'll pick back up in division against Aberdeen on the 18th and finish out the season, Aberdeen, Morville, and Nettleton for their final 3 games. Of course, the Chargers' last game of the year is against another Webster County team in Eupora, and that'll be there at Eupora. That won't be a division matchup, of course, but it's always a big game as well. And they moved that game, which was originally on Halloween night, the 31st. They moved it to November 1st.
So the West Webster game, Eupora game is on Friday night on the 1st.
That's right.
Oh. So, Jim, just like what you were talking, the fresh, some really white pants headed out there as far as with this group of youngsters coming out for this drive here for the Chargers.
Yeah, I mean, the more experience they can get right now, because East Webster's not letting up. It's not like they're going out there and not going to get hit. I mean, these guys are still coming at them. They're still trying to give it all they got. They're not going to quit either. You know how it is. But to see our young men get out there and get in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's happened every game just basically this year. So I'm hoping and thinking they're going to have a lot of experience. We'll better count on them late in this season when we need them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jalen Robinson on the carry. So, Chris, talking Major League, who do you expect to see in the World Series? Just a prediction.
Man, I'm really and they put the Braves out, but I'm really liking San Diego right now. They're solid up and down their lineup, and I'm really following them. And I was rooting for the Brewers as well, but the Mets put them out in the wild card on a Pete Alonso home run on the third game of the wild card. So.
A lot of close competition there this year.
But the NLCS is going to be the Padres against the Los Angeles Dodgers in California. It's going to be a good matchup there, and the Mets will play Philadelphia too for the division series before they go see who goes to the NLCS. So
it'll be interesting,
Yeah.
We got $1.50 left on the game clock.
A lot of lights headed out of the parking lot on this visitor side. Starting to get the get a head start back going north from here on 15.
That was, Robinson running hard, so moving the stick a little bit, getting close to the first down.
So with this win, Chargers going to advance in the series to a 6-4 lead. I think this fifth win in a row.
Yeah.
So when you think about that, coming from 1-4 to going to 5 in a row to being 6-4, really a turnaround here in the last 5 years. Going around that right side as far as running hard.
And undefeated at our new stadium.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Will stay perfect here and end up, I hope that the road to the playoffs and through that runs through here and stuff for sure.
That's right.
And having the W in this game, really helps, secure that starting off division play and getting that first division win, is always big.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we seem like we can score quickly, but it don't seem like we just go out there and just try to annihilate. But as these games go, our scores, we keep adding these points up. And before you know it, we're basically at 50, on the board tonight. And they've went there. They're methodical. They come, they keep getting their points.
Yeah.
And that's what I really like and seeing about the team, So not just super one-dimensional. We have some long drives. We have some what seems like just a super short nothing. These guys can score, manufacture any way they can.
Yeah. The Chargers going to wrap this one up as far as 49-21 over the visiting East Webster Wolverines. So it ended up, total performance here. You really like what you've seen, I did. As far as Chris, any final thoughts as far as you had on tonight's game?
Just really impressed with the physicality of the Chargers tonight. They come out ready to play and didn't take their foot off the gas and played solid. There was a little lull there in the second quarter after, we saw a turnover, that kind of lost momentum there, but we was able to pick back up toward the end of the first half. And, we carried that into the second half, although that first possession of the second half we didn't turn out well, but we took advantage of winning the turnover battle, which you mentioned. And so just really impressed with this ball game of the Chargers and moving forward and securing that first district win.
Yeah, just a lot of emotion, a rivalry team as far as, and both teams ranked in top 5 across the state. So end up just pleased with the performance of this Choctaw County Charger team and how they were prepared, came out the gate strong. So end up, we look forward to the upcoming weeks and so stacking things as far as on top of the wins on top of each other. So end up, Jeremy had something else as far as
I think Choctaw County, just this is my last thing I was wanted to tell you guys. I think they really made a statement tonight. This 5-0 team, that's a big victory, guys.
Yeah.
That's a big
Yeah,
victory.
absolutely.
And so a lot of people will take notice of that.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, this will wrap it up for tonight as far as from the Friday night game of the week on the Charger Football Network. We appreciate everyone listening in and watching on the stream, and we'll be back. As far as we will not be back, as far as next week will be a road game at Aberdeen, but then we'll be here with Morville on October the 18th. So that'll be our next first senior night as far as upcoming. So just that'll be the next home game. So we appreciate everything, and God bless.